everybody.
Hey everyone, good morning. Adam and Sarah here, the Green Executive. We hope you're doing well today. So, we saw a gentleman ask about what a loss is inside the Profit First for Landscapers group and what can they do to alleviate tax burden, right? What can they do to alleviate from paying so much taxes? So, Sarah, we talk about your accountant may say that, oh, you actually, if you had a good year, which congratulations, pat on the back.
Yes, for sure. If you have a good year,
Okay.
that's something
you
to
made
celebrate.
money. And if you made money, your accountant may say, if you want to alleviate paying certain taxes on that profit that you made, those earnings that you actually made, maybe you should consider buying something to help offset that. Why is that possibly a trap?
Well, because you're going to burden the company. So when an accountant says, hey, you might want to invest in something, you might want to buy something because otherwise you're going to pay a lot of taxes. They're suggesting that you make probably an asset purchase, meaning a piece of equipment, a vehicle, something really big ticket, most likely, to offset the income that the company has brought in so that they can take that big purchase and depreciate it out. So it could be very much a trap because A, they might say that year over year and then you're buying all this stuff. And B, all the stuff that you're buying might not really be something the company needs. So
Well, and when you say, when you mention real quick though, buying, then that's like a cash flow trap too, because like you're always buying stuff and you're always having to pay it off if you're not paying it off in cash or with cash.
So making a purchase for the company like that, well, first of all, you want to make sure it's something that the company actually needs. So an example of a good application I think of that would be, hey, we're going to buy a truck. We know we need a new truck. We know our truck's bad. It's getting old. We're spending a lot of maintenance on it. We know we need a truck. Hey, accountant, would it make sense to buy that truck this year? Or should we maybe buy it in the next year? That is an example of when it makes sense to strategize like that. It's not because, hey, your accountant says, hey, you might want to buy a truck. If your company doesn't need a truck, do not burden your company with it. Don't take that cash that your company has and apply it towards something that you may not necessarily have thought you needed. Let the need drive the purchase, not what the accountant says.
Well, and that's why it's also important to tax strategize, because if he says that you may need I would consider a tax write-off, might want to consider purchasing something. Do you purchase it in December for 2022, or do you strategize and project things of what you're going to be doing next year, and do you make the purchase in January for the next season if you need one for next year? So it's really important to strategize and plan for that. What are a few other things that owners can do or purchase to help offset their taxes but will still benefit them directly?
So one thing is prepaying. Like we do the early order programs a lot, and we can prepay for that stuff. Now again, that could be a trap because if I do it year over year, it's maybe only something I can take advantage of 1 year if I'm doing it every year, because it'll continue the trickle down effect to hit. But I can strategize when I make those payments. So prepaying for those services that we have committed to, I think that's definitely something.
Yeah. So just to clarify on that, our fertilization weed control, we early ordered already now for next year. So if you need that write-off to offset some earnings this year, maybe you can go ahead and pay for it now in November or December versus paying for it in April or May when you actually take the product. So that could be another strategy as well. And
balance that with cash flow. So you have, in my mind, I see different tools for looking at a company. One of those tools is a profit and loss. Your profit and loss, though, doesn't give you a whole picture of everything, because you might look at a profit and loss and say, hey, where's my money that it says that I have? Excuse me. You have to look at that in combination with the balance sheet, too, because a lot of the money that goes out of the business for these big purchases goes out on the balance sheet. So that could be where your money is. It went out on the balance sheet. But there's also cash flow, because those two tools, they don't look at how much cash is actually in the bank, and that's a profit first tool too. And then you have a tool like your software, like an LMN budget is another tool, another viewpoint of what's the lifestyle we want to live as a company. So you can use a combination of all these tools to really get at how's our company look overall. And I put a lot of stock in your instinct and intuition. So that's a big one.
So we could honestly probably talk about this for another 5 or
probably
10 more minutes or longer, but we're going to go ahead and wrap it up today. We can maybe touch on some more here next week or so, but hope you're doing well. Don't go out and make that purchase unless you really need it for your company.
Yes, let the need drive the purchase.
Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.